wake up every day and you think you are making choices, but look closer. Are you really choosing, or are you repeating? Repeating patterns, repeating expectations, repeating a life that was quietly designed long before you became aware of it. There is a silent tension inside you, a constant pull. One voice tells you to be disciplined, to control, to resist, to become something. Another voice whispers to feel, to want, to live without permission. And somewhere between these two, you begin to feel lost. Not because life is unclear, but because your mind is. You don't always suffer because of what happens. You suffer because of what your mind says it means. And that is where the story begins. You've been taught to admire discipline, to wake up early, to work harder, to silence your impulses. You were told, this is strength. But no one asked you a simple question. Whose discipline is this? Is it yours? Or is it something you inherited from voices you never questioned? Parents, teachers, society, each one shaping you, not just with rules, but with invisible expectations. And slowly, what began as external control became internal obedience. You started calling it self-discipline. But is it really the self, or just a quieter form of control? Now look at your desires. You think they are yours, your dreams, your cravings, your ambitions. But pause. Where did they come from? The things you want, the life you imagine, the version of success you chase. How much of it is truly yours? And how much of it was planted through comparison, through exposure, through silent conditioning? You see, both your discipline and your desire come from the same place: influence. One tells you what to suppress, the other tells you what to chase, and you stand in between, believing you are free. This is the quiet illusion. You are not just living life, you are interpreting it. Your mind is not a mirror, it is a lens, and sometimes a distorted one. You don't see reality as it is, you see it as it feels. A delay becomes failure, a rejection becomes worthlessness, a comparison becomes inadequacy. The event is simple, but the meaning becomes heavy, and that weight is what you carry. Somewhere, right now, someone is failing and feeling motivated, and somewhere else, someone is succeeding and still feeling empty. Same world, different minds, because it was never about the event. It was always about the interpretation. It's not what happens, but what it means to you. And your mind is always assigning meaning, quietly, automatically, relentlessly. You look around and you see others living, smiling, achieving, progressing, and you begin to compare. You measure your life against their highlights, and suddenly your journey feels small. Your pain feels unique, your struggle feels isolating, but it's not. Everyone is carrying something, everyone is negotiating with their own mind, but no one talks about it, because silence is more socially acceptable than vulnerability. You begin to believe that something is wrong with you, that your confusion is weakness, your emotional conflict a flaw. But what if it's not? What if this tension, this inner conflict, is not a problem, but a signal that something inside you is asking to be seen? Think about it. If discipline is always suppression and desire is always indulgence, then where do you exist? Where is your awareness? Because real control is not about choosing one over the other. It's about understanding both, seeing clearly when discipline serves you and when it silently erases you, recognizing when desire is authentic and when it is just borrowed noise. This is where it becomes deeper, beyond psychology, into something more unsettling: existence. You want certainty, you want control, you want life to make sense. But life does not promise clarity. It offers uncertainty, and your mind tries to escape it by creating meaning, by forcing structure, by asking, Why is this happening to me? But maybe that is the wrong question, because why seeks control, and life is not always controllable. So the question shifts, not why is this happening, but what does this mean for me? And suddenly, you are no longer a victim of events. You become a participant in interpretation. You begin to see that meaning is not given, it is created. This idea is not new. It echoes through quiet reflections, through philosophical fragments, even through the writings of Raghav in Stones and Thorns, not as answers, but as reminders, that life is not about eliminating conflict, but understanding it, that discipline without awareness becomes control, and desire without awareness becomes chaos. But awareness creates space, and in that space, you begin to notice something subtle. Your thoughts are not commands. Your emotions are not truths. They are signals, passing states, stories your mind is telling, and you don't have to believe every story. What if your distress is not your enemy? What if it is your mind trying to show you where you are disconnected from yourself, from your needs, from your reality? Not to punish you, but to wake you. But waking up is uncomfortable, because awareness removes illusion, and illusion is comforting. It tells you, if you just work harder, everything will be fine. If you just suppress more, you will succeed. If you just achieve enough, you will feel complete. But deep down, you already know something is missing, because a life built only on discipline can become mechanical, predictable, structured, empty, and a life driven only by desire can become chaotic, unstable, directionless, restless. So where is balance? Not in extremes, but in understanding. You are not here to blindly obey discipline, and you are not here to impulsively follow desire. You are here to observe, to question, to become aware of what is shaping you. This is the turning point, the moment where you stop asking, how do I fix myself? And start asking, what is actually happening inside me? Because the problem was never just your situation. It was the way your mind framed it. And once you see that, something changes. Not outside, but inside. The same life feels different. The same struggle feels lighter. Not because it disappeared, but because you understand it. This is what Stones and Thorns speaks to in quiet undertones. Not solutions, but reflections. Not instructions, but awareness. As Raghav suggests, the sharpness of life is not in the stone, but in how you hold it. So now, pause. Look at your life again, not as a series of problems, but as a series of interpretations. Ask yourself, where am I forcing discipline when I actually need understanding? Where am I chasing desire when I actually need clarity? And most importantly, whose voice am I listening to when I make decisions? Because freedom is not doing whatever you want, and control is not suppressing everything you feel. Freedom is seeing clearly. Control is choosing consciously, and that is rare. Because most people never question their own mind. They live inside it, reacting, repeating, responding automatically. But you are here, listening, thinking, and maybe starting to see. So here is the final question, not for the world, not for anyone else, but for you. If your thoughts are shaped, your desires influenced, and your discipline conditioned, then who are you without all of it? Sit with that, not to answer it immediately, but to feel it. Because sometimes the most important truths are not the ones you solve. They are the ones you learn to observe. If this made you pause, if this made you think, then don't just move on. Write your thoughts in the comments, because sometimes clarity begins with a single honest reflection. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might be silently struggling, because awareness shared, becomes powerful. And maybe, just maybe, that's where real change begins.